So this video is called The Seasoned Lady. Someone that I came across here recently. Title of this video is The War on Black Women's Weight. There's a war on black women's weight? For what? By whom? Let's see what the seasoned lady has to say. There's all type of red flags going on right here already. There's all type. So let's see what she got to say.
Season gang, I need you guys to lean in with me for this one, because we're about to have some real talk that just might step on a few toes, not because I am judging you, but because I love you guys enough and I love us enough to keep letting excuses and things of that nature keeping us from being the best possible versions of yourselves.
So why we gotta do these soft words? Why we gotta do these qualifying words? Not because I'm judging you. No, you gotta judge. Everybody is judged, whether you like it or not. And if you love someone, you would just tell them the truth. You're not gonna couch these words. It's not gonna be just some soft words. Baby, you fat. Baby, you're overweight. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Now, this video is regarding the war on black women's weight. And I wanted to talk to you guys about it because you know that your girl has struggled and yo-yoed with weight loss. And it finally got to a point for me that I absolutely had to do something to get my weight under control, because as I started to age, I started having all of the problems that many of us are concerned about. High cholesterol, acid reflux, not being able to sleep at night, all the things that come along with a poor diet, limited exercise, and being a little bit overweight. Now, to give you guys a little bit of history, I have lost a total of 70 pounds 3 different times in my lifetime. And it's because I got up to over 200 pounds. And you guys can see that I have a small frame, and there I have no business carrying around over 200 pounds. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And I wanted to get...
I would like to know her height, because in order to be over 200 pounds, ideally the height will have to be around 6'3", 6'4", something around there, maybe. Yeah, about that. And that would be a healthy 6'3", 6'4". Healthy weight is 200, 220, something like that. So if you're not in that area, that's not a little overweight, that's obese. We're just gonna call it what it is. You don't believe me, you can go look it up yourself.
Give you guys a little tidbit that your girl didn't even weigh 200 pounds when I was pregnant with either one of my children. So these things happened much later in life. And I know we're in an era of body positivity, and anytime you flip on Facebook or Instagram, all of those places, you see morbidly obese black women basically saying, this weight don't stop nothing, I'm fat and fabulous, I love the skin I'm in, and just because I'm big don't mean I can't get men, and all those things. Well, today, we are not having a conversation about men and what they think about this situation. This is strictly for the ladies.
And that's part of the problem. Y'all sit up here exactly what you just said. All that nonsense. They healthy with the skin they in, this, that, and the other. Because y'all haven't talked to men. Because men would be like, no. What's the explanation of you being 5'2", 180 pounds, and you never had a child? It's called being lazy. That's what a man would say. But these women for so long have been told, oh girl, they need to take you as you are. You ain't fat, you thick, you are big bone. Somehow God created your bone density bigger than other humans. So you're big bone. And that makes sense. Not to me, not to men anyway.
Today, we really don't care what the men think.
And that's
we
true.
We gotta talk about this. And it's a very simple question. Is there a war on women's weight? Or is there really a war for us to have to fight, given that we are the most obese group of people in the United States of America?
This is true.
And I know that hurts some people's feelings. I know that people want to feel good about themselves and want to believe that no matter how much you weigh, you'll be fine. I know that there's a lot of people that will say, I'm healthy. I don't have any health problems. And I'm going to tell you guys, just like my grandmother used to tell me about many things, just keep on living. And you know, your girl made her 56th trip around the sun not too long ago at the end of May. And every year it gets more and more difficult.
And that's another one of the things that men be talking about. The way y'all women talk. Y'all talking these fanciful terms. Our 56th trip around the sun. Okay, 56 years old. What is all these other extra words? Kids, just talk to us like we 4-year-olds. I don't care if we 54, 34, 64. This trip around the sun, we don't. Some of us men just what? 56 trip around the sun. Body positive. I'm thick. My journey, my truth. Why are y'all making up reality, right? Words are not used to create reality. And that's what a lot of y'all do. A lot, not all. Words are to express reality, not to make up reality. My journey, my truth, I'm thick. 56 trip around the sun. What world? What if your man talk like that? If your man talk like that, you would call him a simple beta weak ass dude and you be out. She'd be like, girl, I don't know what the fuck he talking about. I can't handle this.
To maintain weight if we don't do the things that we need to do to maintain it. And when I say the things we need to do, I mean monitoring what goes in our mouths, how much we move, and what we do about it. We have got to have fewer calories going in, more exercise being put out so that we can maintain a healthy weight. It is just not healthy for us to be walking around morbidly obese. Now, my daughter teases me.
I'm putting my hand up. 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 The solution is, it's very simple. Just eat when you're hungry. That's all. But a lot of these women, because of the negative reinforcement that they have gotten on their weight, and also if you put their feelings into that, it's overeating. An eating thing. And no, I'm not gonna sit here and say you gotta eat extra healthy, be a vegan, and do all these type things. You don't gotta do none of that shit. You don't have to do none of that shit. But what you do have to do is drink a good amount of water. Your body talks to you. Your body tells you what it needs. If you're thirsty, drink water instead of soda, instead of pop, instead of apple juice, instead of Kool-Aid jammers, instead of Capri Sun. Your body gonna tell you what it needs. And how about this little thing? The more bad things you put into your body will crave those things. And again, it doesn't go back. You got to be a health nut, eat grains and this, that, and the other. Eat a salad. You can eat a salad every once in a while, but you can't. You can't eat fried chicken 2-3 times a week. You can't eat hamburgers 2-3 times a week. You can't eat pasta 2-3 times a week. That just makes sense. If you eat when you're hungry and not when you feel like eating, you most likely will get to a point to where you need to gain weight. And you know what you need to do at that point? put on a little muscle weight. And that'll get you that when your doctor tells you you might need to gain a little weight, put on a little bit of muscle weight, and you good. Eat when you're hungry, not when you feel like eating. It works. It works. 100% it works. And when I say eat when you're hungry, I'm talking about eating a meal. A meal. Not Subway, not McDonald's. You know, cook a meal that makes sense. But maybe a lot of people don't know what makes sense.
The obese women, especially when I see them gorging themselves on food or in inappropriate outfits, it kind of creeps me out a little bit. And she calls me fat phobic. And I'm not fat phobic at all. I just want each and every one of us to be as healthy as possible. And there are so many.
Can we clear something up? Phobic, the root word of that is phobia, which means fear of. Who's scared of fat people? We're scared of them possibly being out of breath and falling on us. Okay, kind of jokingly, but that's not realistic. Just like when they say transphobic, homophobic, I ain't scared of no trans person or no homosexual person. I'm not scared. A lot of delusional black folks, mainly black women, y'all make up things. Fat phobic, scared of a fat person? Transphobic, scared of a trans person? Like I have a fear? No. You just make up words. Stop making up words. Look up the definition of a word. We have more access to any information than anybody in any time in history. And with AI coming on board, it's actually going the other way. You can just make up shit and make it look true with AI. We've turned that corner.
Many factors that play into that. We deal with enough stuff without having to deal with being morbidly obese. I care about each and every one of you as much as I care about myself. This is a conversation for me too, because like I said, this is my third time doing this. I had to have some weight help losing the weight with the weight loss drugs. I have not been quiet about that, but I care about my people and I care about us being morbidly obese. You know, people like Lizzo that want to talk about, you know, it's okay to be, you know, big and that she loves herself. Well, she has lost half of her body weight.
Yep.
You know, Gabrielle Sidibe that played Precious, she gave birth to twins and she's lost half of her weight. And there's so many others. So this is a falsity that is okay to be morbidly obese. It absolutely is not okay.
Let me tell you something, Miss Seasoned Lady. You are just speaking the truth. Now, when I say what I say, when I pause it, I'm not necessarily talking about you. I'm just reinforcing what you say, because nothing you have said is a lie. Not a thing. It was just interesting how you want to, at the very beginning of this particular video, that you just want to kind of put some qualifying words and some type of comforting words, like I'm not judging you, I'm doing this because I love you. But that I love you part, what you have portrayed in this video, well, it holds true because you're telling them the truth. You're telling them the truth in a woman to woman way. And I know you're gonna get some hate from it. You tell them the truth in your own way, because if my way, look, you're overweight, right? You're overweight because you eat more than you burn. Miss Seasoned Lady, you need to keep on going, please.
And black women, again, are the most overweight group of people. Now, we got all kind of excuses for that. Slavery, stress, big bones, lack of healthy food, genetics, hormones. I could go on and on and on. But the bottom line is being overweight and morbidly obese is a self-control issue.
Miss Seasoned Lady, let me tell you something. Girl, you better keep on saying it. You said it's a self-control issue, but how about this word? It is a choice. It is a choice. Us men, we don't want no fat, obese woman for a wife. We just don't. Now, one of the most beautiful things is if we have a woman that's at a healthy weight and she gains 30 to 50 pounds during pregnancy, which is normal, to us men, that is fucking beautiful. That is great. Your body is preparing itself. You're gonna eat more. You're gonna eat some weird stuff during your pregnancy. Us men, we don't care. What you want, boo? You want some pickles and some ramen noodles? Fine. Look, I'm going to get that shit. During pregnancy? What? You want a Burger King cheeseburger with a side of sour cream from Aldi's? Oh, no problem at all. But the key is, what's happening today is that 30 to 50 pounds that they gain, they're not going to lose all of that, if any of it. You get 3 kids down the road, that's 90 pounds. And I'm talking about on the conservative end, if they gain 30 pounds each pregnancy, you're talking about she's 90 pounds heavier. And so even if she was a healthy weight, when she conceived and had the first child, you still talking about 90 pounds. Your body is not designed to be overweight. Every human basically, well, you know, men, between men and human, but women's skeletal frame, regardless of race or anything else, is pretty much the same, and it's the same thing as men. You cannot be thick. Thick means fat/obese. That's just what that means. So start speaking it that way. Miss Seasoned Lady, keep cooking. You telling nothing but the gosh damn truth.
None of those other things play a part in it. Now, I know not having access to the healthiest foods, or being stressed out, or, you know, all of those things, you know, big bones. I don't think big bones exist.
Oh my, no, they don't.
Structure from some
I just said
people,
that.
But last time I checked, most of it.
No. Wait. I want to I'm gonna go back a little bit. Hold on. Just a little bit.
Exist. I know that we have a different structure from some other people, but
no. The skeletal frame, I just said this a minute ago, the skeletal frame is pretty much the same. You may have a few variations here and there, but God didn't create a white person's skeleton any different than an Arab person, than any different than a black person. In mass, it's pretty much the same. There's no way that you can dig up 2 different skeletons and tell if they were African American or a white American. Just looking at the skeletal frame, there's just no way you can do that by looking. So in mass, there's no difference.
Last time I checked, most skeletons are exactly the same. Bones weigh what they're gonna weigh. Mm-hmm. So we gotta quit coming up with the excuses. We have got to stop using food for comfort.
Yes.
Instead of nourishment.
Oh my goodness.
I know, and I told this story previously, and I'm outside on the porch, so you know if there's any noise in the background, please forgive me. But I told this story before, you know, when my daughter tore her ACL, I wanted her to instantly feel better, and I took her to Steak and Shake, and we had our favorite milkshake.
Oh my goodness.
And it got to the point every time we were dealing with the issue, any level of stress or any bad news or anything
you
like
went
that,
to eat?
off the Steak and Shake we would go. And it formed a very bad habit very early on. You know, whenever we have a celebration, there's always lots of food, lots of alcohol.
Gosh,
it doesn't matter what time of the day
familiar.
or night it is, we eat that stuff. And we gorge on it. We cannot have a celebration without all kinds of food that aren't necessarily good for us. And if we do have that one girlfriend that chooses to eat salad or, maybe grilled salmon or something, we look at her like she crazy because she's missing out on all this good food here. And the truth of the matter is we need to join her in that, and we need to not give her a hard time because she cares about what she's putting in her body. We all need to care about what goes in our body. And, we're dealing with issues that we wouldn't have if we made better food choices and if we had a better relationship with food in general.
Let me tell you something right now, Miss Seasoned Lady. You just said something that I've been saying forever. A better relationship with food. Food is not to comfort you. Food is not to make you feel better. The only thing that food is for, the number one thing, is fuel. It's fuel for your body. It's like putting gas in your vehicle. It's like charging up your electric vehicle so it can go that 1 mile, that 10 miles, that 40 miles, wherever you need to go. Food, number one purpose is fuel. It's not to base memories off of or anything like that. I knew someone, all of her memories, she go to amusement parks and do all these type of things, and all her memories were based off what happened with the food. In the meanwhile, I'm talking about you're at an amusement park, the best amusement park in the world, according to some. But the memory that you shared was what happened when someone ate too much cotton candy and threw up. Is that the memory you shared? That shit was weird to me. But you said relationship with food. You don't need to have no relationship with food. You eat to survive. Eat to survive. Eat so your ass won't pass out. That's it. You don't need to be full. You don't need to be full. A person like me, I don't like to feel full because I almost feel nauseous, like I'm gonna puke, like I'm gonna just hack right here. I don't like to feel full. Miss Seasoned Lady, let me tell you something. You better just keep on going.
War on Black women's weight is ours to fight. It is ours to deal with. None of us can sit back and say that we are not morbidly obese and that we don't need to do something about it. This isn't about anybody else. I don't care what men think. I don't care what men like. I don't care what their stance is on this. This is a conversation between me and the ladies.
And that's the thing. Other races of women, they do. They care about what men think. They care about what men like. That's why most races, other groups, that's why for the most part, they're not morbidly obese. Because they do care about what men think, and they do care about what men like. And you know what the residual effect of that is? They end up healthier. They don't end up being diabetic for the most part. They don't end up having sickle cell. They don't end up morbidly obese for the most part because they care what they men think and they do things for their men. Black women, no, they do whatever the fuck they want to do. Society has told them it's okay.
And it's time to talk about what we need to do to get rid of this weight. A lot of it has to do with psychological issues, stressors, a lot of different things. We have to address those things so that we can start doing the things that we need to do to get that weight off of us and not be obese. This really isn't about what a man likes or what he wants. This is about us living the best version of ourselves possible and taking the best care of ourselves. Being morbidly obese does not automatically mean unhealthy, but our joints can only take so much. Our organs can only take so much, and if we are constantly putting bad things in our body, seed oils, MSG is a toxin that's in so many foods that cuts off our brain receptors that tells us that we're full, so we'll keep eating. Potato chips is a prime example of that. You know, Lay's prides themselves on you can't eat just one. It's because there's toxins in there that won't allow you to eat just one. It tells your brain you want more and you need more. And the only way to avoid that is to simply not eat those things. Don't try to eat one potato chip. If we're on a weight loss journey, we don't need to be eating potato chips at all.
And see, that's what I said earlier. Your body, if you listen to your body and not your feelings, your body's gonna tell you what it wants. So if you ate 2 to 3 hamburgers a week from McDonald's, guess what your body gonna crave? 2 to 3 hamburgers a week from McDonald's. If you ate just whatever you need it is to fulfill your hunger, your body will probably crave that. If you drink water on a normal basis, you know what? You're gonna feel thirsty at a certain point. So guess what? You need to go drink water. To me, this is so simple. Miss Seasoned Lady, look, I ain't agree with you on everything, but us as humans, we don't have to agree on everything. But most of what you said right in this video, yes. Keep it up. Keep it up. I haven't watched any of her other videos. I'm gonna watch some more. I would like to know your current height and weight, because you getting up here preaching about this, that, and the other. I want to see where you at. You said you lost 70 plus pounds 3 different times. Let's see where you at right now today. If you like the video, comment on the video, share the video. You can even dislike the video. Also on YouTube, we're gonna be over here at Mr. Info 5000. Peace.